John 12:42 and 43. Nevertheless, even among the rulers, many believed in him. But because of the Pharisees, they did not confess him, for they loved the praise of men more than the praise of God. My youth pastor, Brandon Grayson, moved to St. Kitts, and I remember one of the messages that he gave before he left. He talked about the fact that St. Kitts was known for being a violent place, and that was where they felt God was taking them as a family. And so in going there, there was a potential that his family could be hurt or killed while there. And he said, this was a risk, a cost that I had to consider. But at the end of the day, what I have, even myself and my wife and my children, don't belong to me. They belong to the Lord. And so I give them to him and walk in obedience to what he's given. I remember it because it was one of the first times I had seen that expressed like that. In 1 Corinthians, it says, you are not your own. You don't belong to yourself. When you give Jesus your life, you give Jesus your life, everything. And that's, of course, us and ourselves and our own life and our time and our effort and our money. Everything belongs to God now. It's not ours. It's his to do what he wills with. And of course, also father, mother, wife, and children, brothers and sisters, all of these things we hand over to the Lord. But I think that there's one that feels smaller on the list, but in the everyday is more impactful, which is this. Our reputation belongs to God as well. In this sense, if you represent Christ perfectly, you love people well, you speak the truth in love, people will hate you anyways. There's no pathway as a Christian to not being hated and also being faithful to God. We can make it worse for ourselves, certainly, but you're going to be hated by people if you choose to follow God. And so your reputation is something that belongs to him. My reputation and what people think of me, it belongs to God. And if following God costs me my reputation with people and I'm hated, that's a cost that we're willing to pay. We have to be. The leaders, the rulers were not. They loved the praise of men more than the praise of God. And because of that, they kept themselves out of eternal life. A note of encouragement on an eternal scale in Isaiah, for behold, I create a new heavens and a new earth, and the former earth shall not be remembered or even come to mind. All this hatred and that we get from the world will disappear in the end. It will be about our relationship with the Lord. So, if you are going through a scenario where your reputation suffers because you honor Christ well, he's worth it.